Hello and welcome to Blythe Business News. Today we're talking about Pulsar Helium, and we're talking about Pulsar Helium with Stephane Foucaud, who is the oil and gas analyst at Auctus Advisors. Pulsar Helium listed on the London market in October and was already listed on the Toronto Exchange with a symbol of PLSR in London. The company is developing its helium assets in Minnesota. Stephane, you've just published a research note which looks at the smaller helium companies listed in the UK. Give us some context for the research note you've just published, please.
Hi, Tim. Well, thank you for having me today. Well, it started by looking at all those junior companies, and they really have been hammered by the market. Share price have been depressed this year for various reasons. I mean, the market has been tough, particularly in Canada. Maybe in the context of everything so depressed, let's look at what could be commercial. They all have big resources. They're all cheap. What is likely to work? And that was really the goal of the note.
Okay. Now, you've compared the companies using various criteria. Could you explain for the viewers, because I take your point, this is a disparate group of companies. To make the comparison, what were the various criteria that you used?
So as I focused on commerciality or likelihood of commerciality, for me, there were four important factors. One, the asset quality, basically the rocks. Two, the asset location. It's different to operate in the US and you say Tanzania. Three, the distance to market. You know, helium is a very light molecule. And as a result, if you're far from market, there will be a cost to transport or process that helium. And fourth, some company rely on independent auditor to measure their chance of development.
So, Stephane, thank you for explaining the criteria you're using. Against those criteria, how does Pulsar stack up?
Very, very good. To me, a key factor, two key factors are again the quality of the rocks. So quality of the rock, it's about helium concentration, that Pulsar has the highest level. But I think more importantly, it's all about flow rate. I come from the oil and gas industry, I'm a reservoir engineer, and I like flow because flow gives you a sense on how commercial it is. So in the case of Pulsar, I think they have one of the highest net flow rate, which is the gross flow rate of gas multiplied by the helium concentration. So it's very important. Second, Pulsar is located in the US, which is probably the best location in the world to have natural resources operation. Regulation are fairly easy. If you need equipment to drill, they're next door. If you need helium technology, they're available. From an infrastructure perspective, likewise, the market is next door. You don't need to have special port to export it. You don't need massive processing infrastructure. Everything is there, and that's quite important. And lastly, Pulsar is one of the only 5 companies that have been attributed a chance of development out of the 16. It's pretty high, it's 65%. So really, from a likely commercial point of view, it screens very, very well. And on top of that, you have exploration upside.
Okay, so you're ticking some very good boxes for you there. Now, what do you see as the next steps for Pulsar Helium?
They have started deepening their existing well that has been tested. So remember, they got already a very good flow rate from what is only 100 meters of potential helium interval. Now they are deepening that well by 500 meters, so that potentially opening up 5 times what they have already produced. And arguably that should have a positive impact both on flow rate and commerciality, but as well on the size of the prospective resources, the size of the price. Most of their prospective resources, which is exploration upside, is in this deeper sand. So what's coming up over the next 2 weeks, I think, is very important for the company.
Stephane, thank you for joining us today. That was Stephane Foucaud, oil and gas analyst at Auctus Partners, talking to us about the prospects of Pulsar Helium and the way that Pulsar Helium stack up in the various analyses that Stephane has carried out. That's it for this edition of Blythe Business News. Thanks for watching.